At a quiet restaurant, everything seemed peaceful. People were enjoying their meals, having conversations, and the atmosphere was calm. Then, out of nowhere, a cockroach suddenly flew and landed on a lady at the table. She screamed in shock and panic. Her hands started flailing wildly, trying to shake the cockroach off. She jumped up from her seat, her face filled with fear and anxiety. Her reaction quickly caught the attention of everyone at the table. The other people, seeing her distress, began to panic as well. Everyone started jumping up, moving around frantically, and raising their voices in confusion and fear. The lady continued to scream, waving both of her hands in desperation, as if the cockroach was going to cause some catastrophic harm. As the panic spread, the cockroach flew off and landed on another lady in the group. This second lady, now the target of the cockroach, reacted just as dramatically as the first. She screamed even louder, her hands shooting into the air as she tried to get away from it. The whole table was now in complete disarray, with everyone jumping, screaming, and trying to avoid the cockroach, which seemed to have a mind of its own. The chaos continued for what felt like an eternity. Each person seemed to feed off the other's fear, amplifying the situation. It was no longer about the cockroach. It was about the fear, the reaction, and the panic that had taken over the group. Through the chaos, a calm waiter approached the table, sensing the situation needed attention. He saw the cockroach on the shirt of one of the panicked customers. Instead of reacting with panic like everyone else, the waiter stood still. He remained composed, observing the cockroach as it crawled on his shirt. Without a trace of fear or agitation, the waiter slowly reached for the cockroach. He carefully picked it up with his fingers, showing a steady hand and a calm demeanor. The waiter's actions were deliberate, measured, and calm. He didn't rush, didn't panic. He simply handled the situation with quiet confidence. Then he walked to the door and threw the cockroach outside. With that, the chaos ended, and calm slowly returned to the table. What powerful life lessons did this story teach me? As I sat there sipping my coffee, I couldn't help but reflect on what had just happened. Was the cockroach truly responsible for all the panic, or was it something deeper? Why did the lady react with such fear, while the waiter remained calm? What made one person react in chaos and another in calmness? The more I thought about it, the more I realized that it wasn't the cockroach that was the problem. It was the way each person chose to react to it. The first lady couldn't handle the surprise or the discomfort of the cockroach. Her immediate response was fear, panic, and chaos. The second lady reacted in much the same way, feeding into the collective fear that had gripped the group. But the waiter responded differently. He didn't allow the situation to disturb his peace. His response was calm and controlled, and he solved the problem quickly and without drama. This made me think, how often do we react to life's challenges with fear, panic, or anger? How often do we let situations spiral out of control simply because we react impulsively? In life, problems are inevitable. Whether it's a difficult conversation, a stressful work situation, or an unexpected challenge like a traffic jam. But it's not the problem itself that causes the chaos. It's how we respond to the problem. Think about a time when you've been in a stressful situation, maybe at work or in a personal relationship. What was your first instinct? Did you respond with patience, or did you let emotions like frustration, anger, or fear take over? In my own experience, I've realized that my first reaction is often one of panic or irritation. But when I take a step back, breathe, and respond calmly, the outcome is always much better. The waiter showed us the power of self-control. He didn't let the situation disturb his inner peace. Instead of getting caught up in the panic and the drama, he focused on solving the problem calmly and efficiently. This is a skill we can all develop, learning to control our reactions and instead choosing to respond thoughtfully. How do we handle life's unexpected challenges? Life is full of cockroaches, unexpected challenges, interruptions, and discomforts that catch us off guard. It's easy to let these moments throw us off balance. But the key is how we handle them. Do we react with fear and chaos, or do we respond with patience and calmness? The more we practice responding thoughtfully, the more control we gain over our lives. I began to realize that it's not the shouting of my boss or wife that disturbs me, it's my reaction to it. I've found that when I respond with patience and understanding, I'm able to handle the situation much more effectively. But when I react out of frustration or anger, everything becomes more difficult. How do we overcome the challenges life throws at us? Think about the traffic jam you encounter every day. It's an external problem that seems to disrupt your flow. But the traffic itself isn't the real problem. It's how you choose to respond to it. Do you get frustrated and angry? Or do you find a way to remain calm and accept the situation? How does our response shape our reality? When you respond thoughtfully, you're in control of your emotions and actions. You're not letting the situation dictate your state of mind. Instead of reacting with impatience or anger, you choose to respond with calmness and composure. How can we effectively handle life's toughest challenges? In life, we face many challenges, big and small. Some of them will catch us off guard, like the cockroach at the restaurant. But each challenge is an opportunity to practice responding instead of reacting. How can choosing patience transform our lives? To handle situations better, we must choose patience. We must learn to pause, breathe, and think before we act. When we take the time to respond thoughtfully, we maintain control over the situation and ourselves. The next time life throws a challenge your way, ask yourself, am I reacting or am I responding? Take a moment to choose your response. Respond with patience, understanding, and calmness. By doing so, you'll save yourself from unnecessary chaos and create more peace in your life. What final insights can we take away from this journey? It's not the situation itself that defines us, it's how we choose to respond to it. Moral of the story is, more than the problem, it's our reaction to it that determines our peace of mind. Thrive X, where growth begins. Don't miss out. Hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to stay inspired. Together, we'll unlock your full potential.